First off, I am no good at making YouTube videos. If you make it through this video, you deserve a medal of awesomeness, because you are awesome. Number two, these are advanced psycho-spiritual concepts. If you don't care about this stuff, this might not be for you. And number three, I am not a licensed medical professional, nor am I a psychiatrist. I am, however, an educated, ordained minister. A lot of experience. So if we can get over all of that, then I have some cool things for you. There's a lot of people talking nowadays about whether or not our reality is a simulation. Of course it's a simulation. Prime reality is not a phenomenon. It's not a place, it's not an event, it's not occurrences, there's no time involved. Prime reality is the awareness of the changes. All right, let's start with the most fundamental. Awareness. Awareness is the fundamental nature of self. It is the quintessential self that witnesses all the events of your life. It is the core of your being and exists in infinitely repeating fractal patterns all the way back to source and all the way down to the smallest story that there is. Awareness exists within all things, and all things exist within awareness. For example, you can hold awareness for multiple things at the same time in a self-similar pattern. It may not be the entirety of your awareness that focuses on one individual thing, but the awareness that is focused on each thing is the same as the larger awareness that is the self. In the same way that a light coming through leaves, it's a smaller version of all of the light of the sun, but it is the exact same, it's self-similar to the entirety of the sunlight itself. Don't believe me? Confirm it within yourself. Through birth, through life, through death, and on to the next one. It's the non-phenomenal awareness. We're at that critical mass juncture where this is becoming necessary to recognize who the true self is, the prime reality of self. Though you change throughout your life, everything about you changes what is the same. That would be the prime reality, the originating source. All right, essence. Essence, the next part. Essence is the underlying life force that animates all things. It's the energy that gives life to everything around us, including you and me. Essence is also known as chi or prana, or ki in different cultures, symbolizing the vital energy that flows through all living beings. This life force embodies qualities such as love, compassion, grace, vitality, harmony, and balance. Energy flows where attention goes, meaning wherever your awareness goes, your energy flows too. The next part of this, egoic vessel. For some examples of this, it can be called an archetype or an aspect. It's the same thing. But an egoic vessel can also be the entire human itself. So an egoic vessel is an energetic form. A human being itself is an egoic vessel. An energetic form where essence goes to help you play the game of life. It's like a storybook character. And it is the book itself, and it is the characters within the book, and it is the different aspects of each character. These vessels have varying densities relative to other egoic forms. So they are the characters, but each of these characters have to be enlightened. They have to shine light on the darkness within each one of them in order to fully allow this vessel, this egoic form, to come to recognize and to realize its full potential. Egoic vessels exist within you, like one for your job and another one for hanging out with your friends, or another one for being with your family. Awareness pours essence into egoic vessels, filling and animating them with life. This is when they become conscious. right, next on the docket is egoic droplet. See what I did there? Because water, because droplet. I think it's funny. An egoic droplet is a smaller form of an egoic vessel. It represents a specific emotion or response that arises in a particular situation. So they say it's not what happens in life, it's the response. This is where we begin to talk about how you can regulate the response and change the response. For example, it could be the anger triggered when you are stuck in traffic, or the love you experience when you watch your children play. These droplets can influence your behavior and reactions, encapsulating a momentary state of being. So it's not a whole vessel, it's a beingness. Awareness delicately infuses essence into these droplets, bringing them to life. And I have to move my car now. Consciousness. Consciousness I describe as distinct from awareness. Whereas awareness is the fundamental nature of self, consciousness is what arises when awareness brings energy to a vessel or a form, a pattern. At this point, it becomes conscious. So think of it this way. You have a pattern for a behavior, a persona, a vessel for the person that you become when you go to work. But that person can be set aside for the weekend, let's say. And then you pick it back up come Monday morning, and you embody that pattern of beingness by bringing awareness to it, which brings energy to it, which imbibes it with consciousness. It becomes conscious. Until that point, it's just a pattern that exists somewhere. Alright, so this is Anchor Bay. This is right across the way is the St. Clair Flats. It's the largest freshwater delta in the world. Delta is the triangle at the end of any river where all the sand and the sediment collects. Tuning into egoic vessels. Tuning into egoic vessels is like tuning into a radio. You select a frequency or a state of being and embody it fully. Each vessel or droplet has its own unique frequency that you can access and inhabit, allowing you to experience different aspects of life through various lenses, traits, and abilities. This is like what they say, you are not, a person is not their behavior, right? Your behavior changes out over the course of your lifetime, but you're still there. And we're defining these things so that we can get down and understand the essence of who we are, and then what aspects and tools we have available to us, and then how to clean up those aspects by shining light within them to illuminate the darkness. Like they say, everything has a shadow side. Well, we need to illuminate that shadow side so that we can better use that tool or that aspect or that archetype, that vessel, that droplet. Epiphany moments are instances when you collect the light of essence or source and bring it back down into the density of the egoic vessel. Over the course of our existence, we progressively bring more light into these ego vessels to illuminate them and raise their vibration. By doing so, we can eventually awaken within this vessel. We awaken to our own nature of self. We stop believing that we are the character, and we remember ourselves as the actor. The actor, I said that so, I don't know. Just as one can have awakened moments but then find themselves very much back in ego form, these epiphanies help integrate higher awareness into everyday life. So maybe you have in a moment of this epiphany moment or this moment of awakening within a meditation, for instance. You remember, it's like every secret of the universe is within your grasp. But then if you even remember the experience, the learnings sort of disappear. And it can be frustrating. However, in my opinion, this is by design. We progressively over the course of our life become more awakened in these vessels until you are in recognition of self, of true divine self. More often than not, you only fall out very rarely. But what it takes at first is going up into that state and bringing a little bit back. Even if you can't remember the lesson, the essence of it remains. And your life has changed nonetheless, and progressively you illuminate these vessels.